After all the problems in staging the Commonwealth Games in New Delhi, it's now proving very hard to get people to go. Competition in most venues is being conducted before extremely small crowds, but the athletes insist it's a minor issue in their battle for medals. Competition has already been world-class in many sports, especially cycling and swimming, but big things are expected in diving. In the past decade, the Australian diving team has soared from 15th in the world to number 2. Headed only by the powerful Chinese. But competition will be fierce, particularly from the English and Canadian divers who view the event as an important stepping stone to the London Olympics. Paul Lockyer reports.
This is the view from the top for Olympic champion Matthew Mitcham.
Yes, Cabral.
After his triumph at the Beijing Olympics off the 10-metre tower, life has changed. The hunter has become the hunted.
I was always sort of, just trying to be the best, and now I suppose it's trying to stay the best.
This is the dive that gave Matthew Mitcham gold.
That is stunning. A dive that produced the highest score ever seen at the Olympics, including 4 perfect 10s from the judges, to deny gold to 2 favoured Chinese competitors.
I don't know, it still feels really special. I still get really excited.
History is made at the pool. The 20-year-old lets his emotions run wild now.
So when you think about that, all the emotion of that moment comes back?
Absolutely. My heart's racing. I got butterflies in my stomach just thinking about it. It really was, beyond my wildest dreams.
Not a bad result for someone who got into diving by chance. He was spotted as an 11-year-old playing around on the diving boards of a Brisbane pool by a coach from the Australian Institute of Sport.
One of the Chinese AIS coaches saw me on his way out after a training session and said, "Oh boy, come over here." And I actually started diving with the Talent ID squad with the AIS the next week.
But the afterglow of Olympic gold was tough to handle at first.
He struggled in the first year after the Olympic Games, but this year he's done really well. Really well, being ranked number 1 in the world, beating the Chinese again in China.
Under the guidance of coach Chava Sobrino, Mitcham is trying to expand his repertoire.
He's got 2 new dives since the Olympics, and you have to do it. You have to upgrade all the time. You have to be 10 steps ahead of competition.
It has been one of the great feel-good stories of these games.
British diver Tom Daley was only 14 when he competed at the Olympics in Beijing.
Absolutely.
He won the World Championship from the 10-metre platform last year and is expected to present tough competition for Matthew Mitcham in New Delhi and pose an even bigger threat at the London Olympics.
England is sort of hoping that, he's going to be their golden boy. So I do feel a little bit sorry for him with all that pressure on his back, all that expectation. But he's a pretty cool kid. He's calm and collected, and I reckon he'll be one of the ones to beat in London for sure.
The Commonwealth Games are being viewed by all competitors as a very important stepping stone to London.
No, it's not going to be easy this time, so I think it's going to be a rough competition that we're going to have there.
But Australia now enjoys great depth in diving after years of talent development. Melissa Wu was just 13 when she was selected in the diving team for the last Commonwealth Games.
I've never really had this much attention before, especially being small,
Despite a mismatch in size, Melissa Wu teamed up with Alex Croak to win a silver medal in synchronised diving in Melbourne.
Even though there is a height difference, we're technically similar, so it makes our dives just work really well together.
Ready, go.
4 years on, the pair is more evenly matched in height now.
Can't believe how small I actually was, because at the time everyone was sort of making a big deal of how small I was, and I just thought, oh, of course I'm small. But yeah, looking back, I'm particularly tiny. So yeah, I think I've grown up a lot since then, and it's really good to be able to go to a second Commonwealth Games.
I think she's almost doubled in size, so it suits me quite well. She's kind of caught up to me a little bit. Still not there just yet, but yeah, she's definitely bigger than she was.
Melissa Wu is now 18, having added an Olympic silver medal to her achievements in Beijing. and the best may still be to come, both individually and in partnership with Alex Croak.
There's a connection on personalities. Alex and Melissa, they train really well together. They help each other.
Alex Croak is one of only a handful of athletes to have represented Australia in 2 sports at the Commonwealth Games and at the Olympics.
Let's hope she can make it today.
She began as a gymnast, part of the team that competed at the Sydney Games. When her gymnastics career ended, she still yearned for competition and turned to diving, but admits that the transition from the beam to the 10-metre platform was daunting.
I think when you're on the ground looking up at 10 metre, it doesn't look that bad, but when you're up on 10 metre looking down, it's quite scary, and I'm always very alert and aware of what's going on around me, so I think that's a definite positive.
The fear helps you focus.
Absolutely.
While some other sports have faltered since the Sydney Olympics, diving has never been stronger. And the Olympic champion is determined to make another mark in New Delhi.
The only major international competition gold that I don't have is this Commonwealth Games gold, so I really want this one.
Our Commonwealth Games reporter Paul Lockyer with that story.